Hi, I'm Kottaveiinflux, where I daily welcome you to my imagination and the next season of my life. So, as you can see, I'm sitting outside. The sun has come out today, and I feel much better. Why do I say that? Because yesterday I felt horrible. Like it was just a bad emotional day. And most people will get up and move and continue to flow when they don't feel well. But I feel so grateful to be in a position where yesterday I just took the time and did absolutely nothing. If it did not involve sustaining myself in eating and resting, I just did not do it. I felt for a moment a bit guilty because as a creative, when you're giving time, space, materials to create, of course you're supposed to create. I'm wearing my creator shirt today, thanks to my friend. You're supposed to create, right? Because it's such a luxury, apparently, to be a creative and to have that inside you. And how dare you not use that time to create? I came to a resolve yesterday that I'm most productive when I'm well rested, when my emotions are in more of an even space. And I just didn't feel that yesterday. There was a lot of life happening the few days before, and life will take you off your square. So you may say, what does that have to do with your creativity? Well, I'm about to tell you. I know there's this like narrative of like the artist that's like tortured, and in the time of them being tortured and having deep suffering, they produce their most profound work. Well, I'm not that. I'm absolutely not that. I'm honestly actually the opposite of that. When I feel deeply peaceful and deeply loved and cared for and nurtured and seen and supported is when I do my best work. When I'm feeling not my best, I still will make work sometimes just to get out and to express, and that's fine. But it's typically not my best. It's more of let me get out this thing that's coming through my spirit. And I probably don't show most of that stuff. A lot of those things are embedded in my sketchbooks. And I laugh when I talk to just other people because I have all of my sketchbooks and journals from sixth grade. I've always kept a journal and somewhat of a sketchbook. And then years ago, I saw that they actually took Frida Kahlo's original sketchbooks and they copied them with the bleeds and everything. You see the birds in the background. Her words, things she drew, her notes, her artistic notes, and they copied it. And at that point, I stopped separating my written life from my visual life. So now, when and if at some point I decide to go back and look at all of this, which, at some point I probably will, from sixth grade all the way till now, and see how that's informed my life, where I was at different stages of my life, where I was emotionally and physically, informed the work I was producing at that time, and the times where I didn't create at all. What was I writing that was going on in my life as a creator and maker of things? Hold on, I'm having my coffee outside too. I don't know where this idea came from that artists are supposed to create every single day. If you're so moved to, I don't discourage you to. I know a lot of artists who have a daily practice, and I applaud that. Like I would love to get to that point. But as I look at what I'm doing now, while I've been here with the time and solitude, I'm looking at these gorgeous poppy flowers with the bees. Time and solitude to do it. My ebb and flow, my current natural ebb and flow is every other day. I'll take a day to do some research. I'll take a day to just peruse art books. I'll take a day to just smell flowers, take a walk, sit with my own thoughts. And I know that's part of the process of being a creative, and I've said that before. But in terms of active art making, every other day seems to be a good flow for me. And when I work in that that flow and that process, I'm able to get quite a bit done and quite a bit that I'm satisfied with. And so learning to listen to what other creatives are doing, but to honor what your pace is, do that. Go with that. Your feelings matter around who you are as an artist, and your pace, whether you're a visual artist, a writer, a theater person, a healer, a chef, a musician, a dancer. Everybody else's pace cannot be your pace. And so you have to honor and just really sit down with yourself and don't look left or right. We're good at looking left or right, or sometimes listening to what other people tell us we're supposed to be doing. There's a lot of birds out here today screaming. And there's this great saying I love that says, if you don't know who you are, someone else will be happy to tell you. I don't think I've allowed people to tell me who I was since I was about 11. Of course, when I was a child, I had to move as the adults around me. But as I came into my adulthood, I made solid choices around who I am and how I choose to move through the world, and adjust it as needed. Creativity, it doesn't have to be a crutch. Your making doesn't have to be a designated requirement. I've stopped doing any art shows to meet a deadline. Sometimes I'll say yes, but I give myself a wide arc of time to create if it's for something specific. And then there are the times I just make because something's coming through my spirit. I am determined that in this season of life, I'm going to live it slowly and intentionally and purposefully and spiritually. All of these things matter in terms of my well-being, my emotional and creative space. I'm sitting out here today. I'm wearing this bracelet I got from a medicine man when I was in Palenque, Colombia, maybe 2 years ago. And I needed something to pep me up, to put me back into the light. The sun's out today. I'm going to go for a walk as soon as I'm done shooting this video. I'm out here charging like a battery. I realize that in this space I'm in, a lot of times I don't give myself the grace I give others. And yesterday I did, and it made such a huge difference. So I'm going to do a better job of listening to my inner me, that inner child I talked about in the video. And yesterday she was tired. I know y'all have seen toddlers fall out in the floor and give tantrums, and you don't know if it's because, that child is tired or frustrated and can't express it, or something else emotional is going on, because emotions do matter. So give your inner child that time to fall out, lay down, cry, scream, do whatever is needed to be well creatively. So since I gave myself that grace and gratitude yesterday, today is another day. Those people who know me, even when I get down, I don't stay there. At least not long. That's not my normal flow. And so, yeah, today is a good day. And I'll see what I make and create. I have some ideas. I guess I'll share some more things maybe tomorrow. I'm getting used to sharing work in process. And I'm realizing the space in between me starting and the space in between me completing is much longer. And I jump from thing to thing so that I can give each piece, each technique, each narrative its own breathing space so it can come to life properly. So here I am. I'm Kottaveiinflux, living my life with no ceiling, no floor, no walls, no box, just the world. If you enjoyed this talk, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and if you're so inclined, share, and come back tomorrow.